This is a presentation of DirecTV, exclusive home of the Red Zone channel, the Fantasy Zone, the Dan Patrick Show, 20 years of NFL Sunday Ticket, the Rich Eisen Show, and America's premier source for sports television.
Coach Belichick, the Pats bounce back for a Week 2 win. How do you like your squad?
Like my squad? I don't understand the question. I always like my team.
Hey, Coach.
Coach, what are your thoughts on facing Oakland this week?
Well, we all know that Friday is International Talk Like a Pirate Day, and the Raiders are definitely going to be fired up for that, and we've got to be prepared.
Hey,
Coach, have you circled any dates on the schedule this season?
Just one, October 1st. It's going to be a big one for us. All 7 seasons of Gilmore Girls will be streaming on Netflix.
Hey, Coach. Now, in regards to Lorelai, are you Team Luke or Team Christopher?
Luke. It's always been Luke. Last question.
Hey, Coach.
Coach Belichick, what about the box score?
Starts right now. Okay.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer. My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Power Tower for box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score, where we save the world and share recipes and all that. I'm Brock in Los Angeles, joined by the Danettes out in Milford, Connecticut. Guys, our podcast going strong. Fritzy, any words for the ladies out there in your sexy Todd Fritz voice?
Please tune into the podcast. Dress your best, even though we won't actually be seeing you, and just kick back, take some time out of your day, and whatever you miss the first time around at your leisure. Pop in the podcast, get those headphones on, and enjoy what we bring every day.
Okay. All right, well, let's get to more serious topics. Another twist in the Adrian Peterson story. McLovin, can you break this down for us, please?
Well, basically, I don't know how you guys did it, but I woke up this morning and Paulie had forwarded an email that the Vikings had put him on a list that he will not play and he's barred from all team activities. So we had one Adrian Peterson story that he was playing when we left the studio last night, and I think we were all prepared to rip the Vikings. Then today we had to deal with the aftermath of that. So we kind of shifted gears. We shifted gears from where our mindset was yesterday.
Yeah, Broccoli, I'm sitting there this morning over a big bowl of peanut butter Captain Crunch with my daughter. I see this, I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, is this for real? I had to check to make sure it was a real story. I had to tell someone, so the first person I told was my daughter, and she's just like, shaking her head. She has no idea what the topic is. And then I figure I got to double check this, but yeah, it was kind of, usually don't wake up to stories like this.
And Paulie sent out a note sometime in the afternoon, like, they would bet all of us that they're going to do a 180, and I personally was refusing to believe it. That at some point you got to stick to your guns. You can't keep wavering back and forth with public opinion. And they said he's going to play Sunday, so whether you like it or not, he's going to play Sunday. And then I got that statement that Paulie said that at like 7 o'clock this morning, saying that nope, he's sitting out.
Well, why didn't you email us and say you disagreed with Paulie? You didn't take him up on his bet.
You strongly disagree?
No, I did. I thought that he was going to play ultimately, but yeah, I guess I could have done that. I guess I thought that was going to somehow lead to some wheel of punishment that I didn't want to start making it a whole.
Oh, so you stayed out of the discussion of a bet because you were afraid of wheel punishment. I totally get that. I
did see, like, I thought, I saw Paulie kind of reeling us in. It's like, who wants to bet me? And the next thing you know,
we throw these kind of things out all the time, though. Like, I'll bet you $1 million this happens tomorrow. And most of the time it doesn't. Sometimes it does.
$5. Wants to make a quick Finsky.
But I got to tell you, though, I know where Todd's coming from. The other day, Dan and I were discussing which 0-2 team has a better chance of making the playoff, Colts or Saints. I was just waiting.
It's always sitting
waiting for Dan to say, because he's eager to do a wheel of punishment. Eager. He doesn't need much to go on.
Brock, the other thing, Brock, is McLovin and I had this running bet of $5 on random things. But I never remember what they are after the bet.
Yeah.
One of us will say, you won, and we've never collected on each other. One of us is up like $30 right now. I have no idea who.
I bet you Finsky, it's me.
Yeah, no, it's me.
Okay, I bet you $5 we're moving on to the a lot of folks talking about the culture aspect of parenting. Michael Irvin called in today and talked about an important lesson he learned from his kid's principal.
I watched his principal. His name is Mr. Bill Wendell. I watched him and how he talked to Michael or talked to Elijah. And afterwards, when we got my boys on to high school, I told them, I said, thank you, because all I did was what I saw and what I knew growing up.
Yeah.
But spending time with you has helped me realize that even though all those times my father and they were yelling at me, I never really understood what I did wrong or broke it down to me. But this is what the principal was doing for my son. So I told them, thank you for helping me with that, because all we know is what we've gone through and what we've been through and how we grew up, and we usually try to perpetuate that forward with our kids.
A couple things jumped out of that. One was the random naming of the principal. It's a little shout out there by Michael Irvin. I definitely think he made some interesting points. It's funny. He said, I'm watching this kid discipline my son. And it was dawning on me. I'm like, well, I was about to say, well, what's your excuse? Because you had so many behaviors. And then he basically said his excuse was, I didn't see that kind of behavior to model. The other thing was a dog barking in the background. So I went over to Fritzy to interview. I'm like, this is the anti-Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson always says, I'm not scared. I have 3 dogs.
I didn't realize how afraid Michael Irvin was.
So I actually said to Todd or anything, I'm like, Mark Jackson would say, hey, Michael Irvin's got a dog. He's scared or something. I don't know. That's just a side. The barking dogs definitely affected the background.
There definitely is something, though, to being like the way that you were raised. And a lot of times it takes a third party or like an independent person to point out the things about the way you grew up that are just completely off base, because it really is all you ever knew in your own family. And then all of a sudden somebody be like, dude, that's totally crazy. That's not the way you're supposed to live life. Or like, that's not normal, you know? And sometimes what seems so normal to everybody else was just like, what? That's life, isn't it? And like, I thought, oh, I didn't know that was so messed up.
Yeah, I if you would have asked me at age 20 would I spank my kids when I had kids, I probably would have said yes, because where I grew up, everybody got spanked. I don't think I knew a kid who didn't, or at least if I maybe did, I just didn't know. But I remember seeing my sister with her kids, and her kids were getting out of control, and she never raised her voice. She said to me, she goes, if you raise their voice, they'll keep raising theirs. If you lower your voice, eventually they'll come back to you. I was like, man, I had never thought of that before, and I really try never to raise my voice as much as I can with the kids until I need to. Like if they're running if like we're running outside and there's cars around and they start taking off, I'll raise my voice. But normally when they drop milk, I don't have to freak out. I learned that from my sister.
Yeah, I remember watching Mommy Dearest with my brothers and sisters, and we all just sort of looked around and shrugged our shoulders and were like, well, what's the big deal? Isn't that how it's done? Well, kids pose a lot of questions.
Hangers ever.
No wire hangers. Kids pose a lot of questions, as the Danettes pose a lot of questions to Dan to sort of move the conversation along. But if they don't bring it, Dan's going to let you hear about it.
Yeah, Fritzy.
How do you think Peterson took the news that he's not playing Sunday and it could be several weeks before he gets back on the field again? You think it got contentious with the team?
Did you actually think Adrian Peterson could have been happy with being sat down?
No, but I'm saying I'm wondering how understanding. I didn't use the word happy. I'm wondering.
Why would he be understanding?
I'm wondering how contentious it got when he thought he was playing. All of a sudden, they're changing.
Well, how do you think it went down?
I'm sure he was disappointed. I was just curious what you thought if he was like.
Well, do you think that there was like going to be a fight or?
No, maybe he thought it was. He thought it was maybe in the best interest of him and the team to.
Yeah, but I don't know that answer.
I'm going to stand by that question. I'm not going to say it was the greatest question in the history of journalism or this fine show.
You're not going to say that?
I'm not going to say that, but I thought it was a valid question. I know he wasn't there. That's not what I was getting at. I was curious as to his opinion as to when they sat down with Adrian, who thought just a day ago or hours ago before that he was going to be playing Sunday, that all of a sudden he's not. If it got belligerent or, just one man's opinion, what he would think, knowing that he wasn't physically there, if he was understanding.
But you said, Dan asked you the same question back. You go, well, I assume he was not happy.
No, yeah, I said he was probably disappointed, but I was curious if it got really contentious and Peterson blew up over. He goes, I thought I'm playing, or it was less argumentative and said, yeah, I know with everything going on, I guess it's best that I sit out. I don't like it, and I want to play, but do what you got to do. So I wanted Dan's opinion at that moment.
You should re-ask it tomorrow, because if you stand by it, I think that we should re-examine that.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll go over extremely well.
Are you saying that if one of the other Danettes had asked that, would you be fine?
I would have. I
No, I'm saying if me, Paul, or Cena
asked the question that I asked.
Yeah, would Dan have reacted the same way?
I don't think he would have reacted the same exact way. I think you would probably be most likely to of the three of you to get a little ribbing for thinking that was just like a silly question, or like the how am I supposed to know what happened.
So how about this then? If you have a question that could suck, feed it to Seton or I, and you could test out the reaction. Like if you have an iffy question like that horrendous one you asked earlier, send it up to the front row, have Seton say it, and see what the reaction is.
I think it's a great social experiment. Let's do it.
Fritzy, if you do ask the question, I suggest you bring your new toy, the hammer. On the subject of toys, coming up after this, Paulie has a new toy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I want to see.
Did you notice that Paulie brought a superhero lunchbox to school today? I mean, to work today?
It's a gift. It's a
Got all your favorite superheroes on there. Look at that little Landon Donovan.
Little thermos in there.
It was a gift from my friend Landon Donovan.
Didn't we get those?
You should ask Landon Donovan.
Is Beckham on there?
No.
He's not. I mean, what a slap in the face.
Because if that was the case, then I'd lick the lunchbox.
How many of these MLS Cup championships do
It's
they
a
get,
scratch and sniff lunchbox with David Beckham.
Welcome back to Box Score. The guys are used to getting cool stuff all the time. Paulie, did you request that, or was this sort of a gift out of the blue?
It was literally a gift out of the blue. I think I got it Monday afternoon, and it's very, very thoughtful.
Landon is a thoughtful man and a great soccer player, even though they left him off the World Cup team.
In that order.
Paul's lunchbox, I mean, that was stocked with all sorts of goodies. You had some Audible Ale, Snickers, M&Ms. But where were the wings, Paulie?
Well, I wouldn't want to get sauce all over a new toy like this. It's a good call, Brock. If I had some type of plastic bag that I could have put the wings in, I would have put them right in there. But again, it's filled with good thoughts and good treats.
Tough to clean out all the sauce out of that.
It really is, especially into these little areas where the seams are and the screws and so forth.
I think the guys are a little jealous of your swag. We caught them taking some cheap shots at you. So for the second day in a row, we present to you a Box Score exclusive.
Did Landon send you underoos too, or just a lunchbox?
That's our business, and yes, he did.
You sleep in your Landon Donovan jammies?
Well, LA Galaxy Landon.
Yeah, it was sent to Paulie's house, so he says.
Jim Miller?
No.
Oh.
The lunchbox.
Oh, is that a Freudian slip there?
Let's be careful with that. It's a limited edition.
Yeah, very limited. We didn't get one.
Do you want one?
Yes!
Do you want one because you didn't get one?
Yes! I wouldn't want it if everybody got one.
Yeah, the studio is thick with jealousy there, Broccoli. Dan, if he got this in the mail, would have walked in and threw it at me and said, "You want this?" But since he didn't get it in the mail, now he wants one. To the point where the LA Galaxy emailed me because they watch the show. Does Dan really want one? And I don't know the answer to that because he doesn't really want one, but he wants one sent to him.
Dan wants everything.
Yes.
He's a hoarder, okay? And no matter how well-nourished he may be, he wants everything. And is like this, with his arms around all of it. And this is a prime example.
Yeah, that it's a control thing, like, just like he likes to have all his knickknacks and everything, where they are. He wants to know exactly what's coming in and where it's going and what's being redirected to any of the Danette's homes. He wants to make sure that anything and everything that's been sent to the show, he's at least seen it and touched it and decided whether he wants it or not.
How did that mailbox get sent to your home and not the studio? I would have sent it to you at the studio.
This, you mean?
Yeah.
That's just good work by a close friend in Landon Donovan to be able to look up my address and send that on his own dime right to me.
It was not a mailbox, McLovin. It was actually a lunch pail, I think they call the thing. DP always wants to know where all this stuff is going. Paulie, he stopped you on the other side of the glass and asked you about an item that he thought was sent to the man cave but has not been received. What was that?
A book from Jim Miller, the great author who wrote about ESPN. He wrote about Saturday Night Live. And it's autographed. It was sent to this studio, supposedly, according to Jim. Now, if Jim thinks the studio is my address, I can't be responsible for Jim.
Things like this happen to find a way. Like everyone's like, "Oh wow, we looked all over the place, can't find it. I don't know what happened." And the next day, it's like, "Oh, what? It was right here the whole time. Wow, that's amazing. How did that just end up back here all of a sudden?
Thank you, Satan, for complimenting my investigative skills.
Yeah, all of a sudden it was just like, what? That's weird. It was sitting right here in the middle of the floor the whole time.
Go figure.
Can I tell a story? Paulie and I've stopped by Paulie's house a couple times in the last couple months because we're headed on to the airport together. And I get there, and his wife actually is like directing me. I'm like, oh, what's in that room? She's like, no, you don't want to see that. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in Paulie's house. No, there are like certain rooms that are off limits.
Yeah, there may be some tarps over some areas.
Don't look in the garage.
Yeah, Paulie's always been like, I'm gonna have you guys over the house. We'll have a little BBQ.
Yeah.
Sure, just give me a couple
I don't care
hours.
about the lunchbox, but if you get yourself a new Tesla in the driveway, I'm like, hook a brother up. Man. Let's get that going, dude.
If you guys are gonna do a popover, give me a half hour to stop by the storage facility, drop some stuff off. That's all I'm saying.
It's just really weird that there's that fully furnished Guinness bar downstairs. I don't know why you'd have Guinness all.
By the way, if you need a good mortgage rate, Paulie's got the guy for you too.
Sure, why not? I got a guy.
Okay, stick around. Paulie has all the good stuff, and he also thinks he has the inside track on Hollywood news. We'll put him and the rest of the Danettes to the test after this. Ooh, pinks. Yummy.
Yeah, Paul.
We do have a movie update for you. We checked the Jeremy Renner's IMDb, and there's a scheduled Bourne movie coming up with Jeremy Renner. We have another update for you. You said you love the vacation movies with Chevy Chase.
No, I didn't.
You don't like
No.
them. Well, then you're not going to like this news. ABC has a show in the works with Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo, the originals from Vacation Attached. I have another update for you. New Line is remaking the original Vacation. Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo will have cameos, but it's going to star Ed Helms, who was in The Hangover and The Office, who's very good, and Christina Applegate as the wife.
Welcome back to the box score. Paulie and Billy Bush there, dropping Hollywood news all over the place. What made you go? Well, obviously, you even started a few debates. What made you go Mario Lopez all of a sudden?
We actually, believe it or not, that was on purpose. We needed a little comedic break or topic break yesterday. And I saw the story about, I guess, what was the first one we talked about?
Born Identity.
Born Identity.
Matt,
McLovin saw it, and I was like, that's a perfect left turn. That's more of a purposeful left turn. When you're doing Adrian Peterson and Ray Rice for 45 minutes, you literally just like, I got to take a time out for a second. Not for an hour, but for a few minutes.
Well, it turns out, Mr. Papps, the National Lampoon's Vacation you were talking about is not a remake, it's actually a sequel. So we have to correct you on that one. So that got us thinking here. Maybe we come up with a little quiz, and we have, let's call it, oh, how about remake or sequel? I'll ask you about a movie. You tell me if it was remade or if it has sequels, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll ask you, it's a row versus row, and there are no steals on this one. The first one is the classic 1997 sci-fi hit Starship Troopers. This is for the back row, and it stars lovely Denise Richards. But was this film remade, or is there a sequel?
Was it remade or is there a sequel? There was a sequel.
To that?
Yeah, but they didn't have the Blur song #2 in there, so nobody actually cared about it as much. The one that goes,
All right, I'll go with you then.
Yeah, there was a sequel.
We're going to say sequel.
Okay, you are correct. It was not remade, but there were 3 sequels to the film, and they all went straight to DVD. Next up, front row.
I don't know if they get a point there. Fritzy just said we're going to say sequel.
There was a sequel.
That's the correct answer.
It was a sequel?
Yeah. No. It
Did
has
it have a
sequels.
sequel or was it remade?
Oh, okay.
Okay, next up, front row. Man on Fire was a hit action movie back in 1987 starring Scott Glenn. Was it remade or was there a sequel to it?
I'm almost positive, Paul, you went as that character to Halloween one year.
Sure.
So you've got this one.
It was remade maybe 20 years later with Denzel.
Absolutely correct. And they also had Christopher Walken and The Bullet Never Lies. Back to the back row. Flight of the... and no kittens either. Back to the back row. Flight of the Phoenix was a big hit in 1965, starring Jimmy Stewart. But was there a remake or was there a sequel to this movie?
It was a remake with our boy Nicolas Cage, right?
There you go.
Or no, it's a remake with somebody. I don't know if it was Nick Cage, but he should have been in it.
You are correct. It was a remake, but it was with Dennis Quaid. Nice. Last one is for the front row. In 1989, Michael Mann brought you the TV movie L.A. Takedown, but was there a sequel or a remake to this classic?
Oh, man, who could forget the classic sequel, L.A. Taken Downer? No, I don't know, actually.
L.A. Took Down?
L.A. Get Back Up.
I'm just glad I didn't see it. So I'm going to say...
Maybe it's New York Takedown. Like, they changed cities, but same... Yeah, okay, let's go see. Well, remake. I think remake.
Remake.
Yes, there was a remake. It made it to the big screen in the form of a movie called Heat, starring Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. Oh, I got 4 dead bodies on Ventura Boulevard. Good job, guys. It is a tie. Sorry, you chicken. It's overcooked. Still to come, McLovin pissed off Twitter. Shocker there. Oh, and the boss. Oh, that's called a double whammy.
McLovin, you said some dumb things on this show in the last 7 years.
I sure have.
Man, you're putting this one right up at the top. Go ahead. As you found out, 200 people are now unfollowing you on Twitter because you said the following.
Well, I said that Adam Dunn is equal in value to Tony Gwynn over the course of their career, sabermetrically.
Welcome back to the Box Score. It's last call here at the Box Score Bar. I am here at the bar because this is what I know. Drinking. McLovin, from the looks of it, you should probably stick to football.
It's interesting because I got that from this robust message board because the sabermetricians have unpopular views that they care about on-base percentage and OPS, WAR. If you want to break down the numbers, Brock, I'm ready right now. I have them all over there somewhere.
Well, the sabermetrics said that the boss was not going to take it easy on you as he came with this counter-argument.
So you want Adam Dunn, who can't play the field, he can't run, he does hit home runs, he strikes out all the time, but he's got a high OPS.
Well,
so you want you want Adam Dunn. So Tony Gwynn won, what, 7, 8 Gold Gloves, once stole 50 bases. So Tony Gwynn is overrated.
I don't know who's rating him that high. Yeah, he is overrated.
I think he's one of the greatest hitters ever.
He's one of these high single. He's very, very, very good.
Rod Carews overrated. Pete Rose must be overrated too.
Don't make me say that because he was a great Philly.
Was he overrated?
I have to look at the numbers.
Okay.
Levin's got such a unique ability, I think, to get, well, I don't want to say get under people's skin, but just to get into an argument right away. Whereas most of the time that we've spent talking about baseball, it's been, hey, has anybody watched a baseball game this year? No. Okay, let's just move on. And then right there, bang, he just goes sabermetrics and stumbles into this great argument that gets Dan all fired up. And who knew that McLovin was trolling message boards, picking up random statistical information?
Yeah, I don't even know where I got that from, but it is, if you want to get Dan going, just start talking sabermetrics. And I've become the face of anything sabermetric, even if it has nothing to do with me. I love it.
Some algorithm.
Adam Dunn.
I'll do anything to get Dan's attention, so expect this argument to be brought
First
back.
of all, nobody even likes simple math, let alone these things like, I don't even know what, NERD stands for, that's numbers equal ratio displacement. You're like, what the hell does that mean? That has to do with baseball?
There's not one of us in this room, including McLovin and including you, Brock, who knows what OPS stands for.
I think it's on base plus.
Slugging.
Slugging.
Yeah.
I think.
It's on base plus slugging.
Like slug down a beer. Right
Yeah. Let's see. Hashtag don't care. Okay. What I do care about is who's on tomorrow, Fritzy. How about you tell me that?
NFL Network host Rich Eisen will join us from Atlanta to set the scene for the Buccaneers and the Falcons.
Soon to be hosting the Audience Network's new show, The Rich Eisen Show.
That is correct.
I wonder if Rich has any insight into Adrian Peterson's reaction finding out that.
Yes, it's so not necessary.
Ask Rich that.
Hey, how do you think he reacted?
Not necessary.
Xander, do you have any information you want to add to all this? Thanks for watching The Box Score. Set your DVR or tune in weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern only on Audience Channel 239 right here on DirecTV, or catch the podcast available on iTunes, or you can find that at podcast1.com. I got it all in. Hey, cheers to Rich Eisen.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer. My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching The Box Score. Holy cow!
This was a presentation of DirecTV, exclusive home of the Red Zone channel, the Fantasy Zone, the Dan Patrick Show, 20 years of NFL Sunday Ticket, the Rich Eisen Show, and America's premier source for sports television.